Good evening and welcome to the 9th Balipara Foundation Awards 2021. What an honor to have the presence of each one of you again and celebrate tonight the stewards of our ecology in the Eastern Himalayas. We missed celebrating physically last year, but 2020 has demonstrated conclusively our interdependence with nature, economic, social and cultural. This past year has lifted the veil on what the future might look like if we continue to exploit and destroy nature at the same rate as we do today. In the voice of Harrison Ford, let us understand that one way or another, every living thing here needs nature. Let us understand that nature doesn't need people. People need nature. The Balipara Foundation Awards resonates the efforts of our Earth heroes striving to ameliorate solutions for ecological restoration and take pride in their unaltered natural and cultural heritage. It has been a sheer joy to applaud and honor stewards of our ecology in the Eastern Himalayas who endeavor in safeguarding and enhancing the green cover in India and around the world. Let us take this moment to acknowledge the role that Balipara Foundation has played in creating successful prototypes of community-led conservation. From converting a barren parking land into a 22-acre verdant forest nurtured by local communities in Balipara, to building social mobility assets for local communities, enhancing livelihoods and food security through agroforestry, mushroom cultivation, and hosting the multidisciplinary platform of the forum, the Balipara Foundation continues to generate innovative ideas for on-ground implementation with the forest fringe communities. Ladies and gentlemen, these efforts and initiatives wouldn't have been possible without our supporters and knowledge partners. And before we begin the awards ceremony, we would like to sincerely thank our principal partner and mentor, Tata Steel Foundation, for their unstinting support over the years in making our forum and Balipara Foundation Awards reach new heights. Yes, a big round of applause for them, please. Thank you. Our Naturenomics partners, Wildlife Conservation Trust, Hindustan Unilever Limited, Tata Consumers Products Limited, Hemendra Kothari Foundation. A big round of applause for them too, please. Our knowledge partners, Sanctuary Nature Foundation, Sanctuary Asia, Current Conservation, STIC, IUCN, Curricular Bioeconomy Alliance, Wellbeing Economy Alliance. A big round of applause for them too, please. And our media partners are News Live, Neomia Barta, Northeast Live, NewsX, and our radio partner is 92.7 Big FM. Please, a big round of applause for them too. Thank you. Our special thanks to our esteemed jury members for the Balipara Foundation Awards 2021. Bindu Saigal, founder, Sanctuary Nature Foundation. Anish Andheria, President, Wildlife Conservation Trust. Dheeraj Kakoti, Managing Trustee, APPL Foundation, and founders of Balipara Foundation, Radhika Borthakur and Ranjit Borthakur, who have helped us bring forward the best from the field of conservation to this platform. A big round of applause for them too, please. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, allow us to introduce our grassroots heroes and let us celebrate and reinforce achievements of humanity. Our first category of award is Rural Futures Rewilding Award, an award to be accorded to an individual for their outstanding contributions to preserve, restore, and sustainably manage forests, thereby supporting local communities, rural livelihoods, women, youth, and the environment. We have traveled to Nagaland to look at tonight's first recipient's work and his engagement as a community lead towards mobilizing the indigenous communities of his village towards community development. Let us take a look through this beautiful documentary.
We have seen so many birds, butterfly, mammals, all those wild animals we have seen during the traditional practices. Whereas with changing world as of now, we are using this modern technology for fishing and hunting, like using the explosive dynamites. Animals has been killed by the hunters, and as of now, there's no more fishes in the rivers, there's no more birds in the forest. This is what we observe in this modern intervention. These rivers is the common resources of neighboring villages. This is the cordon of Sky Biodiversity Conservation Area. There is a one stream on the right side that is Sky CCA, and the left side that belongs to the Kivika CCA Community Conservation Area. Those portions that is more than centuries forest. It has a rich biodiversity like it, and is the breeding ground for wild animals. This Sky CCA was the first CCA creation, since the Sky is the parental village of all the six neighboring villages. The council has taken the decision, the village chief has taken the decision, and we have created this community conservation area with the technical support from GF Satoyama initiative, and then the Terry as our consultant. These two organizations initially supported like capacity building training, like awareness creation, like preparation of people's biodiversity register. We have recorded all the plant species, crop species. Across the Nagaland, we used to cut down at least 15 to 20 hectares of forest for the Jum cultivation. Mostly our forest has been degraded due to burning of Jum cultivation every year, and if this trend continue, then our whole forest will cut down and burn down. Instead of doing this Jum cultivation, we should find the other best option, that is Naga model of integrated system of farming or agroforestry model, which is sustainable for livelihood as well as for sustaining our forest ecological, which that is urgently needed. Here we grow vegetables like carrot, mustard leaves, radish, cowpeas, chili, ginger, turmeric. The main concept for this community farming is to produce the large scale production for the commercialization, and also we are facilitating the marketing linkage to the farmers. The world is changing with the advancement of technology, education, and even the society changes. We have foreseen that women has given a major role participation in all these different fields. Women were taken for ecotourism exposure trips. Women were taken for farmers exposure trips to the other district as well as outside of the state, so that they can gain a knowledge and they can have an interaction with the other farming communities to exchange the ideas and views.
আমি খান SSG group ama khan khor laga ki chola bole ase etu mushroom pra ulai ke na mushroom banai to ulai ke na shikai la pra etu pra ami khan etu cholai ke na ami khan khor khor chola bole parbo bhabi ke na etu ola bole bana bole suru hoise.
15 households as a homestay, food catering, and we also train the youth for the local tourist guide as for the self-earning. The youth were taking up this transportation services to the tourists, which can generate the livelihood support, especially with the involvement of all sections of the women societies.
ये कंट्रीब्यूशन की सक्सेस होगा बोल के हम लोग बहुत गाँव में मेहनत करके काम करके आया होगा। जंगल में जाके कैसे ये पेड़ और एरिया कैसे देखने हैं या गाइड कैसे करने हैं, टूरिस्ट कैसे रिसीव करने हैं, पूरा तेरे वाला ने हम लोग को समझाया। अभी तक तो हमारा गाँव वाला बहुत आगे बढ़ रहा है। दुनिया पूरा ऐसे क्लाइमेट चेंज हो रहा है, इसलिए हम लोग का गांव भी आगे बढ़ना बोल के ये कंट्रीब्यूशन करने से हमारा गांव ला बहुत फायदा होगा बोल के कर रहे हैं।
We want to create this place as a global research site for the biodiversity and all this culture, tradition, economy, and all that is our vision.
Ladies and gentlemen, I will now request Mr. Chanakya Chaudhary, Vice President of Corporate Services, Tata Steel, to come on stage and honor the winner of the Rural Futures Rewilding Award. An inspiration and a business leader, Mr. Chaudhary has worked with various divisions of Tata Steel over the years. As the Vice President, Corporate Services, he is leading corporate affairs, administration, corporate communications, CSR, security, aviation, sports and medical services. He also serves on the board of Hockey Ace Foundation, Tata Steel Foundation, Medica TS Hospital Private Limited, Jamshedpur Football and Sporting Private Limited, Tata Steel Utilities and Infrastructure Services Limited, Nico Jubilee Mark Limited, Steel Press Limited, TM Mining Company Limited, Tata Steel Special Economic Zone Limited, S&T Mining Company Limited, and Tata Steel Mining Limited. A very warm welcome to you, sir. And the Rural Futurist Rewilding Award goes to Mr. Ivan Zimomi. A local champion of community-led conservation, Mr. Ivan Zimomi played a major role in creating the Tizu Valley Biodiversity Conservation and Livelihood Network, which is reviving Naga traditional culture as well as fighting overhunting, destructive fishing and logging the forests of Tizu Valley. Led by Ivan, the CCA successfully protects 939 hectares of forest across the three neighboring villages of Sukhai, Kiviku and Kuzuyu, and has banned hunting and destructive fishing across the landscape of forests and rivers, conserving and documenting over 200 species of birds, 200 species of butterflies, and counting. Ivan actively trains local youth in biodiversity assessments and sustainable use of natural resources and local communities for ecotourism as nature guides, enhancing local livelihoods through steady flow of tourists that are visiting this area to spot rare birds and butterfly species. A warm welcome to you, sir, and I will request Mr. Chanakya Chaudhary to give the award. And here is the Rural Futurist Rewilding Award, given away by Mr. Chanakya Chaudhary. Please, a big round of applause, please. The winner is Mr. Ivan Zimomi. Artist, congratulations, sir. May I request you to kindly speak a few words of thank you, Mr. Chaudhary. Thank you.
Thank you, Balipara Foundation, for giving me this prestigious recognition and award for my small contribution to our community and saving the nature, Mother Earth. Respected organizers, lawmakers, government representatives, media houses, ladies and gentlemen, the Tizivela Biodiversity Conservation and Livelihood Network is the joint initiative of the 3 village communities, that is Skai, Uki, and Kivka in the heart of Nagaland. We are technically supported by GF Satoyama Initiatives and the Energy Resources Institute of India and Geopath in Delhi. We are working with the communities where fishing and hunting, that is tradition. Land belongs to the individual and it was protected under the Article 371A. Traditional shifting June cultivation is still prevalent in the state of Nagaland, where it destroys the river, the forest, and destroy the wildlife habitat. Otherwise, Nagaland could be the mega biodiversity hotspot in the eastern Himalayan region. Our story is different from others. On February 2020, that is last year, Mr. Let Toika Jimomi, our forest volunteers, who was brutally gunned down by the poachers in line of duties. The rest of the youths were celebrated Valentine's Day with their friends, relatives. He, along with his friends, was detailed by the Kivke Village Council after hearing the gunshot from the conservation area, which is also the part of our network conservation. He was detailed and in line of duty, he went to scouting the conservation area where the illegal poaching and hunting is going on. While on doing the duty, he was brutally gunned down by the poachers. We filed a case in the court. It was unfortunate that the court has granted the bill to the accused, which bring the major setback in our conservation efforts. The fighting is still going on. We'll fight till the justice is delivered to the slain victim hero soul. I dedicated this award to our slain hero, Let Toika Jumomi, who laid his life for the noble cause of our conservation. I dedicated this award to the 3 communities of Skai, Riki, and villages. Skai, Riki, and Kivke village communities. Last but not least, I want to dedicate this award to my wife and children. Without their support and cooperation, I will not be in this platform today. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you once again, Mr. Ivan. And thank you for your work in Tizu Valley Biodiversity Conservation and Livelihood Networks. Thank you very much. Our next category is the Naturenomics Awards, dedicated to a green entrepreneur whose financial and ecological success has proven to be sustainable in wealth formation through the securitization of natural assets such as food, water, energy, and environment. May I now request Mr. Devdut Mohanty, Head CSR at Tata Steel, to join me on stage and honor the first winner of Naturenomics Awards. Please give him a round of applause. Mr. Devdut Mohanty has been working in the development sector for the past 28 years. He has worked with different organizations and learned the nuances of direct implementation program, strategy formulation, project development and management, action research and grant making. A hearty welcome to you, sir. Request you to stay on stage, sir. The Nature Economics Award goes to Sonam Tashi Gyaltsin. Sonam is the co-founder of EcoStream, an evolving community of designers with professional expertise in industrial and communication design based in Gangtok. Through EcoStream, Sonam founded La in 2016, a social enterprise to develop creative industry capacity and capabilities in the Indian Himalayan region, starting with Sikkim. Large products are developed with a systems design approach to solve deep prevailing problems in the region, from access to healthcare to reviving traditional knowledge through educational products. In 2016, it ran bamboo and cane products development workshops with selected master artisans from 23 villages in Sikkim, and in 2020 launched an initiative to replace non-biodegradable polyester khadas. These are ceremonial scarves with cotton screen printed khadas to eliminate waste in sacred landscapes. Sonam is also the founder of a zero-waste tea brand called Tea, using bamboo as packaging, which won the CII-NID Design Excellence Award in 2015 in the Industrial Design category. And I will request Mr. Devdut Mohanty to present the award, please. The Naturenomics Award to Mr. Sonam Tashi Gyaltsin. May I now request Mr. Sonam Tashi Gyaltsin to speak to the August gathering. And thank you, Mr. Devdut Mohanty.
Yeah. Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank the Balipara Foundation on behalf of my team and on behalf of most of the communities that I work with for this award. This award has actually come at a very timely and a very meaningful way, and I would really love to thank the jury members also for this. Most of the work that we've been doing in Sikkim for the past 12 years, we have kind of like somewhere centered it around biodiversity conservation through either communication design work that we do or to the industrial design work that we do. We kind of like somewhere, while working as consultants on various development projects in the past 12 years, we realized that, just advising, consulting is not going to work out. So we put on an entrepreneur hat, and we kind of decided to kind of bring in nature also as a stakeholder in this entire initiative that we started, which is my product brand called La. So the core idea of this entire initiative was basically we realized that not only Sikkim but across the Indian Himalayan states, now the 10 Indian Himalayan states and 2 Indian Union territories of Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh, we realized that we are in a very biodiversity sensitive area, and I'm trained as an industrial designer. So for me, whenever we were looking at development and when we were looking at employment and livelihoods and all of that, somewhere we figured out that in the whole narrative, your conservation is always pitched against development. So there's always conservation, this idea of biodiversity always is seen as a hurdle. So we decided to not have that narrative in at least in the work that we do. So we look at biodiversity as a very key, nature as a very key stakeholder in the work that we're doing, whether it's the ecotourism projects that we're doing, or whether it's the products that we developed around your health services, around water conservation, otherwise something where it's to do with creating awareness on biodiversity conservation across the forest range areas in Sikkim. So I'd again like to thank everyone who have come here. This is a very difficult time, I know. I was also thinking twice before coming here with this whole thing of COVID and everything. And I think, again, this thing is very timely because part of all the mess we are in today is because of the biodiversity loss that we had. And, this thing I'm going to be very shameless in advertising myself when I go back, and I'm going to talk about naturenomics. I'm going to flaunt this award and all because it's very, very meaningful. And thank you, everyone. Thank you. Good night.
Congratulations once again to Mr. Sonam and his Green Entrepreneur Initiative, EcoStream and La. Thank you for being with us and congratulations. Ladies and gentlemen, in this category, we have another winner tonight. And our second Naturenomics Award for the night goes to Kurule Tenupa village from Nepal. A few years ago, villagers in Kurule Tenupa set out to revive their village after a major earthquake and recurring droughts forced people to leave their homes in search of better livelihoods. With support from KTK Belt, the community started Tamor Permaculture Learning Grounds to actively steward all the local work towards land restoration and transformation. 30 different species of fruit and nut plants were planted in the learning grounds, and 2 ponds were created to manage the villagers' water crisis. Today, the once barren land is now fertile and is a green organic farm, drawing hundreds of tourists keen to learn how rewilding revived this village. Over the years, the learning grounds have become a space for studying organic farming, a space for kids to learn about outdoor education, and young people find the hope to stay back, work, and earn from their own lands. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the community of Kurule Tenupa and celebrating their amazing achievement. However, our friends from Nepal could not join us on this occasion, but they have sent us a beautiful message from Nepal.
क्षेत्र कुलेमा 900 घर जति थिए पहिले टोटली मतलब थाहा पाउँदाखेरि अहिले तपाईको हाराहारी 450 400 को हाराहारीमा छ होला त्यति साह्रो बस्ने काको ठाउँ हो। पैंतालीस भन्दा अगाडि चाहिँ अत्याधिक रूपमा पानी थियो र 45 सालको ठुलो त्यो भदौ 5 गतेको भूकम्पले सबै पानीहरू सुके। त्यो कारणले गर्दाखेरि त्यहाँ कुर्ले तेनुपाका जनताहरू अत्याधिक रूपमा बसाइ सरेको सुरुवात भयो। कुनै ठाउँमा त तपाई भन्नुहुन्छ भने हाम्रो कुर्ले तेनुपामा गाउँ नै बसाइ उठेर गएको छ, त्यस्तो परिस्थिति पनि भयो र त्यहाँको पानीको विकट देखेर मान्छेहरूले यो ठाउँमा केही हुँदैन भनेर त्यहाँबाट चाहिँ बसाइ हिँडे।
आजभन्दा 3-4 वर्ष अगाडि चाहिँ हामीले यो महाराजे भन्ने ठाउँमा हामी ट्रेनिङ गर्न आयौँ। महिनाको 5 दिन चाहिँ हामी 3 जना ट्रेनिङमा आएको थियौँ। विनोदपुरी सरले चाहिँ हाम्रो पर्माकल्चर विधिबाट चाहिँ हामीले बिरुवा रोप्ने तरिका, बाइ इन्टेन्सिभ बेड बनाउने तरिका हामीले सिक्यौँ र त्यो सिकिसकेपछि हामीले चाहिँ 4 वटा प्लास्टिक पोखरी बनाइयो। त्यो 4 वटा प्लास्टिक पोखरीले चाहिँ हामीले जम्मा 700 वटा जति बिरुवा लगाएको छौँ, 35 प्रजातिको, र त्यो बिरुवाहरूलाई पानी लगाउँछौँ। साथै त्यो बाइ इन्टेन्सिभ बेडहरू पनि हामीले 60 वटा बनाएको छौँ। 60 वटा बाइ इन्टेन्सिभ बेडमा चाहिँ हामीले विभिन्न किसिमको सागसब्जी, लोकल सागसब्जीहरू र लसुनहरू लगाएको छौँ र त्यो पोखरीले चाहिँ यो सुक्खा याममा चाहिँ हामीलाई त्यो बिरुवाहरूमा पानी लाउनुको लागि चाहिँ धेरै सहयोग गरिरहेको छ। यो पर्माकल्चर विधिबाट प्रभावित भएर त्यो गाउँघरको साथीहरूले पनि बायो इन्टेन्सिभ बेडहरू बनाउनु थालिरहेका छन्। उनीहरूले चाहिँ प्रत्येक घरमा 2टादेखि 4टासम्म बनाएको छ।
सब्जी फलाएको देखेर मान्छेहरूले छक्क दङ्ग परे। त्यहाँनिर विद्यार्थीहरू घुम्न आउने गर्छन्। अनि पहिले बस्दै जाने साथीहरू पनि कुरले त्यहाँ जानुपर्छ होला अब भन्ने उनीहरू मानिसहरू। म यता तराईतिर झर्दाखेरि म भेटन्छु र यहाँनिर सबैजना हेर्न आउँछन्। र त्यो अहिले गाउँमा पनि गाउँका भाइ बहिनीहरूले पनि यस्तो चाहिँ गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ भन्ने उनीहरूको मानसिकता भइसकेको छ।
र हाम्रो प्रयासमा अहिले केही मात्रामा हरियो भइरहेको छ र भविष्यमा हामीले चाहिँ त्यो ठाउँलाई एउटा अर्ग्यानिक भिलेज बनाउने हाम्रो भविष्यमा चाहिँ त्यो योजना छ। साथै त्यहाँ चाहिँ विभिन्न किसिमको फलफुलहरू उत्पादन गर्ने र त्यो सुक्खा ठाउँलाई चाहिँ हामीले एकदम हरियाली बनाउने त्यो पनि हाम्रो भावी योजना चाहिँ त्यो छ। यो हाम्रो उदाहरणीय कामलाई देखेर बालीपारा फाउन्डेसनले हामीलाई सम्मान स्वरूप अवार्ड प्रदान गर्नुभएकोमा यो हाम्रो सम्पूर्ण टिमको तर्फबाट हार्दिक आभार प्रकट गर्दछौँ।
Heartiest congratulations to the Kurule Tenupa community once again.